Beside the Palm, Season 2, Episode 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beside the Palm. For this second season, we're going to expand our reach within fine arts. So on Season 1, we focused on our core full-time staff members. And for Season 2, we're branching out to all of our other staff and volunteers and all the people that help make music and fine arts run as smoothly as it does. So today we are joined by Lee Denson, who will be no stranger, I don't think, to any of you. And welcome, Lee.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is going to be fun. So tell us about your history with St. Luke's and how you came to be here.
Well, I was, for years and years and years, I was over at Bel Air Methodist. And then back in the late 90s, my wife and I decided we wanted to make a move, and we came over to St. Luke's about 99 or 2000, I forget exactly when. And we were there. Well, I've been there ever since. My first wife passed away back in '04, and I stayed there. And back about 2002, I guess, I started working at the Woodshop. I went to a Methodist men's meeting one night, and sitting on all the tables were all these wooden toys. And it turned out that was the night that one of the Woodshop guys was going to make a presentation, and he did. And it really sounded like fun. I had enjoyed doing a little woodwork in my life, but not a lot, and I didn't have a lot of tools, but I thought that would be a great place to learn some woodworking skills. So I started working there, and then I think it was about 2003, I had gotten to know Susan Silvas, who was head of outreach, and the Woodshop is under outreach. And Katie Fields, who was working in outreach also, and they had an opening come up in outreach and asked me if I would be interested in it. So that's how I actually became on staff at St. Luke's. And I did that for a couple of years. And then I quit that, and now I've just been a volunteer there at the church and at the Woodshop since then.
What position did you hold on outreach?
You know, I don't even know that it was local missions. I would set up weekend projects, Saturday projects for people. There was an organization that did repair work on homes. We'd do painting and that sort of thing, and we teamed up with them on some projects and some things we did just for people there at the church. And painting, we'd go out a day or two ahead of time and do the power washing and get the place cleaned up. And then on Saturday, we'd go out and do the actual work, painting and carpentry work. But my job was actually considered local mission work.
Great. Yeah, I had no idea you were actually on the outreach staff until I think earlier today when Grace told me that.
Yeah, it was just a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, so tell us a little bit more then about the Woodshop and what do you do there now? I know we'll get into more about what you do with fine arts later, but generally.
Sure. Well, actually, right now I manage the Woodshop. I am considered the liaison between the Woodshop and the church. And so I oversee all of the operation over there, but fortunately, everything tends to run pretty much on automatic. We've got everybody there has good woodworking skills, and the people that do not want to use power tools, there's plenty of stuff for them to do. But I basically, my job is to oversee the wood shop and act as a liaison between the wood shop and the church.
Yeah. And everybody's volunteer, right?
Exactly. Yeah. There's no paid employees at the wood shop. We're all volunteers.
I'm sure you do know, what's sort of the history of the wood shop? Because most churches don't have one of those.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of churches, I think, that would love to have one, but they, for one reason or another, they seem to have a hard time kind of getting their feet in the water and making a move. Mm-hmm. But years ago, that building has existed forever, it seems like, and initially, that was the very first CCSC building. And even before that, it was just a storage building for the church. When people, husbands, wives pass away and the family members have all this miscellaneous stuff that they need to get rid of, they would want to decide to make a donation to the church if the church could use it. So, and at the time, there was nobody that would say, no, we don't want this, or we can't use this. So the church just collected a huge amount of miscellaneous household stuff. And one of our guys, Hugh Parker, was able to convince the powers that be that to let him get rid of this stuff, and he in turn donated it to other nonprofits, and for them to give away or sell or whatever they saw fit to do with it. And so he got the place cleaned out, and then by then they already had some tools as we guys go on. We leave all these tools that either wives, daughters, sons, or what, they don't know what to do with. Some of the stuff they don't even know what it is, let alone what to do with it. So they would donate it to the church, and slowly the wood shop started collecting these woodworking tools. And someone, and might have even been Hugh again, had the idea to start making wooden toys. We had a guy there named Arnold Smith, and he was already very involved in making wheelchair ramps for people. And so the wood shop gave him a place to actually do that work instead of having to do it at home or do it on site or whatever. So that's how the place got started. The wood shop got started. We originally it was a storage building. Then CCSC used it for a while, and then the wood shop actually got started, and so that's where we are now.
Wow, that's so neat. Well, we're so grateful that we have it and all of you. You guys do such great work for us and the community.
But it is a very unique facility, and every year I have people from other towns, people from Dallas or Corpus Christi, San Antonio, call and ask me, how do you do it? What do you do? And how do you handle this? How do you handle that? And so there are a lot of facilities, a lot of churches that would love to have something like that, but they, I think probably the physical layout, having a building, having some dedicated space becomes a problem, and I think that they're not quite as successful as we have been with getting a wood shop going.
Yeah, one of the many amazing things about St. Luke's.
Yes, it is.
So before outreach and before all of your volunteering in the wood shop, you had a vastly different career, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, back in my college days, I got interested in flying. I learned to fly and got a license and everything. And I really wanted to fly for a living, but I came along at kind of a bad time. the airlines were really having trouble, and it was going to be a really, really long road to hoe before I could, as I tell people, before I could put a decent meal on the table. And but somebody has said something to me one time, did you ever think about air traffic control? And I really had not. And so I looked into it. I actually came to Houston and interviewed some people and visited some of the facilities here in Houston, Hobby Tower, Intercontinental Tower, and another place up at Intercontinental. And I thought, you know, this would be a great job. Good pay, good benefits, real good retirement. And so I kind of veered away from the flying aspect and decided to go the air traffic control route, and it turned out to be a great career. I spent my entire time up at Intercontinental as a facility up there. We were, when you mention air traffic control, you automatically think about a control tower. Mm-hmm. And that's perfectly understandable and quite all right. But what a lot of people don't realize, the control tower guys control a very small amount of airspace around Houston, like maybe a 30-mile radius of Houston, and up to 15,000 feet. And as for my dog and pony show about air traffic control, I turn a bunch of cups upside down on the table, and I say, okay, everything inside of this cup is Houston. This cup is Austin, this one's San Antonio, Dallas. But then there's all this airspace out there outside of the cups. And so the people that control that airspace are called en route controllers, and that's what I was. And so the facility I worked at, we controlled airplanes all the way from West Texas to Florida. We controlled the entire Gulf of Mexico. And at any one time, we probably had maybe 100 people working in a building about the size of a gymnasium with hundreds of radar scopes around.
Wow. Oh, I don't think I knew any of that. I pictured you up in the tower up there, and yeah, that's totally out of my realm of expertise. So it's fascinating.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. Yeah, because that's what most people think about when they think about a tower. And I actually thought at one time about transferring over to Intercontinental Tower, but it would have been kind of like starting my career all over again. And I just decided to stay where I was at, and it turned out to be a good move on my part. I was just a controller for 14 years, and I was a supervisor for another 14.
Wow. Wow. Well, I wish we could talk more about that, but I have other questions we need to get to, but I'd love to talk more about that sometime.
We'll do it.
So bringing it focus back to St. Luke's now, music and fine arts is, I think, a very large customer of yours at the Woodshop. Do you have any particular projects that a certain someone has asked you to do that were either a fun challenge or particularly memorable that you enjoyed doing? I know you've done a lot for us.
I started doing stuff for Sid. He had little things, little pieces of plays that I did some work on, whether it was make a prop or repair something so they could use it, and then that evolved into some much larger projects. But yeah, Sid has been very instrumental in getting me checked out on a lot of things. I can now do wheelchair repair, and I do a lot of little projects for Sid, and I love doing that stuff. I just love doing it. Probably the biggest project was, let's see, first big project he asked me to do, I think it was for Barefoot. He said, can you build a wall across this part of the rotunda? And I said, sure, I don't see why not. So we did that. And then, what was the latest big one?
The last thing I remember was installing the speakers in the choir room. That may not have been the last thing, though.
No, and I don't think I did much with that. I helped with some of the woodwork there. We did we added all the back risers where the basses and tenors stand in the choir, in the practice room. We all did that. That was a pretty good sized project.
Yeah. And you also built the ramp, right? That Sid puts his chair on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. And then this last play, the real big one.
Was that Drood? The Mystery of
Pardon?
Edmund Drood?
Yeah, that was it, I think. I think you're right. Where we built that wall back there with the doors, and it was pretty involved. It really was. Marla Sanders is she ramrodded that and did a fabulous job with it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So I've been involved with numerous plays.
Yeah. You really enhanced the tapestry sets for sure.
Thank you.
So on that note, do you yourself particularly enjoy theater? Is there any favorite plays or musicals that you like?
No, not really. I do enjoy theater. Probably since back in the 80s, I have been. I've had season tickets to TUTS, and so I keep up with that stuff. I enjoy those. I enjoy the musicals, and then the other thing that I really enjoy is the pops. We have season tickets to the pops, and I enjoy that. I like the lighter stuff. The heavy stuff, I don't appreciate it as much as I'd like to, but I enjoy the pops.
Yeah. I always tell people that I think, and this is no offense to anybody that was involved in any others, but I think Barefoot in the Park was my favorite production that I've seen.
Oh, it was great.
Since I've been here. And the set was wonderful, but the show was just one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was great. It really was.
Yeah. So in addition to woodworking and air traffic control, you're an avid traveler, I hear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mary and I do a lot of traveling. We're very fortunate. We get to do basically any kind of traveling we want to. We do at least one cruise a year. Sometimes we slip in two. And we enjoy the big boat cruises, and we've just done one river cruise, but we really enjoyed that. We want to do more of that. And yeah, we've gotten to see to visit all 7 of the continents, which included Antarctica. And so yeah, we really enjoy cruising, or enjoy traveling. And the pandemic has really kind of pulled the plug on that. We really missed being able to go. We had one trip. I already had one trip canceled out back in the spring, but I don't think we'll be able to get in another one this year.
Yeah. Well, you're wearing a great cruise shirt.
Thanks.
Do you want to tell people what they are? What's on your shirt there?
Yeah, I've got a antique Corvette. I've got a '63 Corvette convertible, and this shirt has Corvettes all over it.
Yeah, so cool. Well, so speaking of cruises and how much you love to do that, we always ask people what their 5 favorite things are right now. And that can be anything. What are your 5 favorite things right now these days?
Well, probably, I would say family would have to be number 1 on the list. Mary, and we're really lucky. Our daughter, son-in-law, and the 2 granddaughters just live 5 minutes away from us. So that's it's great having them close by. They come up here pretty frequently. We've got a pool, so the granddaughters love to come up here and go swimming. Everything at the church, Woodshop. We got a great Sunday school class, the Gene Decker study class, and of course, I miss doing the projects for you guys. I'm sure Sid will catch me up as soon as we get back to the church, but enjoy that. Our family has a beach house down at Crystal Beach, down on Bolivar, and I'm kind of I have a hard time sitting back doing nothing. And, but I can go down to the beach and just be a pure vegetable. It's a great getaway for me. And then traveling, I really enjoy, and right now we really miss being able to do any traveling.
Yeah. Well, if you're really that bored, I'm sure Sid could come up with some sort of quarantine project for you to do.
Oh yeah, he didn't miss a beat, really. I've got a project of his in the garage right now. I'm trying to put together, and I've got your project, by the way. That's a work in progress, you could say.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other hobbies that you enjoy besides building things and woodworking, or any hidden talents that people might not know about?
Well, I wouldn't call them talents, but I'm really lucky, and I got this from my dad. He could fix anything. He could repair everything in the world, and so I was lucky enough to pick up some of those skills, and I do most of our little projects around the house, and so really that's about it. I'm very fortunate that I'm pretty handy around the house, so I can do a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, Grace and I just moved into a new apartment this past week, which is part of the change of scenery here. So we've already started a list of things that need to be done. Maybe we should call you before we call the apartment complex.
Well, give me a call on that. Are you in the same complex or a different complex?
Yeah, so for people who are curious, we're in the same complex. We have moved to the apartment next door. So the wall behind me is actually our old bathroom. So yeah, it was a short move.
So you're still on the second floor?
Still on the second floor, yes. Yeah, so the ramp comes right up, so we can just walk right out from the car, and we're right at our apartment.
Perfect. Good deal. Congratulations.
Gotten one of my favorite parts here, which is the rapid fire round, which for anybody that hasn't seen this is just answer as many questions as you can. It may or may not be a competition. You know, some people feel that way, some people don't. So I'm going to set the timer here for 1 minute, and we'll be off to the races. Are you ready?
I guess I better be.
Okay, well, in 3, 2, 1. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Pie or cake?
Cake.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Dining room tables, rectangle or round?
Rectangle.
Lake or ocean?
Ocean.
Reading or watching a movie?
Watching a movie.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Chocolate, dark, milk, or white?
Milk.
On your wall, photographs or paintings?
Paintings.
Chicken, beef, or fish?
Chicken.
Cruise or road trip?
Cruise.
Maple or mahogany?
Mahogany.
Enchiladas or fajitas?
Fajitas.
What color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
Sunny or cloudy days?
Cloudy.
You did pretty good. I didn't tally them up. Grace left a count afterwards, but
Oh.
so we'll see.
Oh, great. Good deal.
Yeah, that's not too painful. So we always end, since this is a music and fine arts production technically, with asking, what is one song or piece of music or anything that you would recommend listeners listen to after watching this interview?
Well, I don't know that this interview is going to send anybody to listen to music, but my favorite guy probably, and this will show you my age, I love Steve Winwood. And, you know, he doesn't have a great voice, but a lot of really, really popular singers over the years don't have what I classify as great voices, but they've just got a style about them that just makes you want to listen to them. And I love Steve Winwood. There's something about his music that, and the rhythm. I just, it's kind of hard to describe, but when I turn on Pandora, I normally go to Steve Winwood radio.
Is there like one song in particular you might recommend?
Don't get old and lose your memory. It's a terrible thing to lose. I can feel it, but I can't remember the title of the thing.
Well, if you think of it afterwards, just send Grace an email. We'll put it on here.
Okay, thanks.
Beauty of technology. Well, that's all I have for today. So thank you so much, Lee, for being our season Kickstarter interview.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thanks so much. It's quite an honor to get invited. I enjoyed it. It's been fun.
Good. Yeah, it's been nice talking to you. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. So it's nice to...
It has been a while. I never make it past Meredith's desk. I come in and see the outreach people about one thing or another, but I never get much past that. And of course, a lot of people are, you know, it's hard to catch anybody at the church anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway, enjoyed the visit.
Yeah, me too. Well, you take care, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Hey, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.